Dear students, in today's tutorial, we are going to study general features and recent trends of classification of fungi. Objectives of this tutorial is to define fungi, status of fungi before 19th century, how they were treated previously, that is up to 19th century, and modern perception of fungi, how these microorganisms they evolve in history and what is their phylogeny, that is the story of their development that we will be treating here. We would also see diversity in structure of fungi and outline of recent classification, and among these fungi what are the groups which are treated as true fungi. Fungi in general have about 1,44,000 species, and these all species have been kept in a separate kingdom, fungi. This new kingdom has been raised recently to include all fungal members. Many examples are there which constitute the group fungi, and they include yeast, which is unicellular fungus, and this is an exception. Fungi also include rust, smuts, mildews, molds, and mushrooms. So here we can see this group is very diverse, including different types of microorganisms. Besides these true fungi, some other members which are also studied in this branch of fungi, which is called mycology, and these group are slime molds, oomycetes. Now these slime molds and oomycetes they have been separated from fungi, but traditionally they are still studied under mycology. Fungi in general are of great ecological importance. As we all know, they play a very important role in degradation of organic material, in biogeochemical cycles, and also in extraction of some precious metal in nature. They also have economic importance. Economically, they are very important because they are the causal organisms of many serious diseases of our crops, of our animals, and human beings. They are also source of many useful compounds. As far as their habitat is concerned, fungi can be free living, they can live in soil or in water. Some fungi are parasites which live on higher plants, lower plants, on animals, or in human beings also. There are some very good examples of fungi which show symbiotic relationship with their partners. For example, lichen. As far as general body composition of these organisms are concerned, the unit of their body is called hyphae. The plural is hypha. There can be number of hypha, and they form mycelium. These hypha can be septate or aseptate. Here in this diagram you can see the septate mycelium and aseptate mycelium. In aseptate mycelium, you can see there are number of nuclei, number of cell organelles which are present. So this type of hypha is called cenocytic. As I told you, the fungi has a long history of the science of fungi has a long history of its development, which is this branch is called mycology. Before 19th century, all these fungi were kept in plant kingdom. In plant kingdom, they were placed in subkingdom Cryptogamia. There we study algae and bryophytes also, and they were kept in a separate division of this plant kingdom, that is fungi. This division fungi has two main subdivisions, Eumycotina and Mixomycotina. Eumycotina has four classes. These are phycomycetes, which are like alga, and hence the name phycomycetes. Phyco means algal. Then there are two classes which constitute higher fungi. These include Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. They are very evolved fungi. Then the one class Deuteromycetes, it is also called fungi imperfecti because we don't know details of sexual reproduction, how do they reproduce sexually, and what are the sexual structures which are formed in these fungi. As I told you, the second subdivision of fungi is Myxomycotina. In Myxomycotina, slime molds were included. Here we can see in the previous classification, the main criteria, the main basis of its classification was the sexual organs, and on the basis of mycelium, whether it was septate or unseptate, and number of sets of chromosomes which is found in the body of fungus. But after 19th century, the trend of classification changed, and now it is being realized that all multicellular eukaryotes should be classified on the basis of mode of nutrition. On the basis of mode of nutrition, we can have different types of mode of nutrition in three in these three major groups, that is in animals. Here, if they are single cell or multi cell, they engulf their food. The food is taken by the structure, or in multicellular organism there are definite structures like mouth, and this mouth engulfs the food. In plants, we know the mode of nutrition is autotrophic. It means they synthesize their own food. In fungi, however, the mode of nutrition is very unique. Here, these organisms, they secrete some chemical enzymes which outside their body degrade complex organic material, and these uh, simplified organic materials are absorbed by their cell walls. The basic reason of separation of fungi from plant kingdom was the mode of nutrition. But besides this character, there are also some fundamental fundamental characters which made us to separate fungi from plant kingdom. And these are: the cell membrane of fungi contains ergosterol, while animals the cholesterol is present. Cell wall is not present in animals, while in plants it is consists of cellulose, and in fungi the main component of cell wall is chitin. Besides, the genetic makeup of these fungi is very different from that of other multicellular organisms which control their development. As far as their origin is concerned, fungi are supposed to be very old group, one of the oldest group, and some of the evidences in the form of fossils we have collected is: one example is prototextiles. This is very common fossil and which has been to be present in various parts of the world, and the occurrence of this fossil has been reported from Devonian period. Devonian period, you all know, it is a period of Paleozoic era, which is that is about 400 to 350 million years ago. There are some fossils which are found in the form of lichens, and there are some members of Basidiomycota. These also have been found as fossils. Different groups of fungi, they are related among each other on the basis of their presence of chitin and alpha 1,3 and alpha 1,6 glucose. Besides the enzyme tryptophan synthesis and lysine synthesis, they also show interrelationship among different class of fungi. Then the next question comes, how we can name fungi, what are the rules we follow for nomenclature of fungi. Though we have separated fungi from plant kingdom, but their nomenclature is still governed by the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. However, the name of this international code has been changed and now we call it as International Code of Nomenclature of Algae, Fungi and Plants. So it is now no more ICBN, instead it is called International Code of Nomenclature of Algae, Fungi and Plants. In general, the basic rank of classification of fungi is species, and then these species are grouped together in the form of genus. Genus constitute order and orders include families. So this way these fungi are classified in further ranks. Now it has been decided that fungi is a monophyletic group. It means they have originated from a single ancestor, and it is believed that they have evolved from a common ancestor, which also from which animals and fungi, these two groups evolved simultaneously, and the history dates back to 800 to 900 million years ago. In general, in recent classification, fungi have been divided into 7 phyla, 10 subphyla. There are 36 classes and 12 subclasses, and about 140 orders have been included in fungi. Now it has been confirmed that animals, plants and fungi, they are very different groups and they originated from some unicellular ancestors, but it is still doubtful whether fungi are close to plants or animals. Now, scientists have started believing that fungi are closer to animals rather than to plants. Here we can see the different examples of fungi, and you can also see the diverse structure in different groups of fungi. Here, the one very important primitive class of fungi, which is called Chytridiomycota. Here you can see these type of flagellated structures are produced in the form of gametes or sporangia, and here the flagellum, the position of flagellum is posterior. Then there is one class, Blastocladiomycota. Here the flagellated cells are also there, but the position is anterior. There is another important class which has been included in your syllabus also, that is Zygomycota, and this Zygomycota is characterized by the formation of zygospores. So here two gametangia, they fuse with each other and the resulting fruiting structure is called zygospore. Ascomycota, as I told you, this is included in higher fungi, and here the reproductive structure, the fruiting body is ascocarp. This ascocarp contains ascus, and this ascus has in general 8 ascospores which are endogenous in origin. In Basidiomycota, the sexual spores are called basidiospores, and these are produced exogenously on the structure which is called basidium. Here you can see two different color of nuclei. This indicates that they are of different genetic origin, and this type of constitution is called dikaryotic instead of bikaryotic organization. Another class of fungi which is called Glomeromycota. This is very important, economically important class. Here they include various mycorrhizal fungi which live in association with the root of the host plant, and they facilitate assimilation of phosphorus. In the recent classification, the major classes which have been included In kingdom fungi are Chytridiomycota, Blastocladiomycota, Neocalimestigomycota, Microsporidia, Glomeromycota, Escomycota, and Basidiomycota. So, with this general information, students, what are the key points you can take away from this lecture is the general features of fungi, their definition, their their structure of the thallus, whether the mycelium is septate or aseptate. There's also some information about the origin and evolution of fungi. We all know that these fungi they originated very early in the geological timetable. It is believed that they originated in Devonian period and Devonian period of Paleozoic era. They have very unique characters, and because of these unique characters they have been separated from kingdom plant, and the special kingdom has been raised for these microorganisms, and this kingdom is fungi, which has been divided into various classes, and these are the classes we have just seen: Chytridiomycota, Blastocladiomycota, New Calimestomycota, Microsporidia, Escomycota, and Basidiomycota. Thus, these are the true fungi which have been included in kingdom fungi, but traditionally, there are some groups which we also include in the study of mycology, and as I told you, these fungi-like organisms are slime modes and members of oomycetes. As far as their evolution is concerned, here we can see the Chytridiomycota constitute one of the very basic group. From this Chytridiomycota, there was gradual disappearance of flagella. There was loss of this motile structure because of the loss of flagella, and the zygomycota, ascomycota, and basidiomycota are considered to be relatively evolved group of fungi. So this is all about the general features and outline classification of fungi. Thank you.